Hello, everyone. Okay, so I have a message coming through, so I'm sitting down and I'm going to record it because if I don't, it'll leave me. Okay, I recorded a message a few weeks ago. It was titled Spiritual Protection. I would recommend, if you haven't heard it, to go listen to it because this is like a continuation to that. And I feel like there will be more coming through about spiritual protection, what it means, how to make sure that you are protected, or how to call on your own spiritual protection and activate it, etc. But this message here is coming through more like a PSA, and it's I guess you could say a warning, but not really. It's just for your information. That way you are aware of what's happening here, okay? Because times are changing. Shifts have happened. Whether or not you see it already in your life, shifts have happened. There have been many shifts, okay? So let me just get into the message because there are levels to the spiritual protection. Again, if you haven't heard the message, please go and listen to it. Now, with spiritual protection, it's another way of saying you have boundaries. Okay, if you have no boundaries, or if you set no boundaries, you have no spiritual protection. It's that simple. If you do have boundaries and you set them and you make them clear, right? You make them clear by announcing them, verbalizing them, the right use of your will. You say yes to things that you want to do. You say no to the things you don't want to do, right? A person who says yes to something that they really want to say no to, they have no spiritual protection. It's that simple. Okay. Now, there are levels to this. There are levels to this because a lot of people are now coming into their spiritual protection. So this goes back to the shifts that we're in, okay? In the past, the feminine energy was suppressed, okay? And the way that actually manifests in society is people are not expressing what they truly feel. That's what it means when we say the feminine is suppressed. It has nothing to do with a woman being held down, even though that is the physical manifestation of that. That's not what is meant in the spiritual realm. When someone says your feminine energy is being suppressed, in the 3D world, the physical world, the world we live in, that is a woman, or that is the gender, the female gender being held down and not being given the same rights as its counterpart. That's what it means here. But in the spiritual realm, it is an energy that is not feeling or allowing themselves to feel and not able to express what they're feeling. Okay, boom. Now, as the shifts are occurring, people are allowing themselves to feel, right? This is the feminine waking up. People are allowing themselves to express. People are now in touch with what they're feeling. This is also why a lot of people are now becoming more psychic, more in touch with their intuition. This is all the expression that the feminine is rising. Okay, you're activating your gifts. You're in touch with what you're feeling. You know what you feel. You're expressing what you're feeling. This is all the feminine rising. As the feminine rises, okay, and the feminine rises through the opening of your heart chakra. That's your fourth chakra. So once you get to the fifth chakra, your throat chakra, as the feminine rises, right, fourth chakra open, you get to the fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra, you can now express. You guys see where I'm going here, okay? You express. As you express and you say what you mean and you mean what you say, this is the spiritual protection. You are now spiritually protected. Once your throat chakra opens up and you are able to say what you mean what you say, stand on business. You don't back down. You don't let people get away with the same crap they used to. You don't allow certain things into your life. You are very, very much in touch with who you are, and you stand on that. You don't fall for anything because you stand for something. You're spiritually protected. You learn how to set boundaries. You know what to let in. You know what not to allow into your life. You let people know, I'm not okay with this. That is not okay. Don't say that to me. Don't talk to me like that. I will not accept this treatment. You do not have access to me because I don't like the way you're coming at me. All of this is just an expression that you know your power and you no longer accept certain things. Okay, now it's one thing to feel this way and express it to people. It's another thing to feel this way and not be able to express it. And that's where a lot of you guys are kind of stuck. You know what you feel, but you don't have you can't verbalize it. You can't articulate it. You don't have the strength to tell people what they need to hear. You can't say it. And then you wonder, why do I keep going through these patterns? I've already set the boundaries. Yet you set them in your heart. But when you are faced with the opportunity to verbalize it to a person who is actually acting out the things that you say you don't accept, right? For example, if you say, I don't accept a partner who's going to lie to me. And if you lie to me again, I'm leaving you. And then the person lies to you again, but you don't leave them. Then you are not spiritually protected because you don't have the strength to enforce the boundaries that you've already set. That means you have not really enforced the spiritual protection. You only felt it. Now we're going back to masculine, feminine, because I'm going somewhere here, okay? There needs to be a marriage within you. The marriage needs to be between your masculine and your feminine energy. How does this marriage occur? You feel something. That's your heart chakra. You know what you're feeling. You recognize it. You know what this feeling is. A person lies to me. I don't like this feeling that this person just lied to me and they think that I'm going to accept this lie. So you know it's a lie. Next step would be to take action on this, right? That's the masculine. So your masculine energy comes in and it says, hey, I know this is a lie. That is the throat chakra. You can communicate. I know this is a lie. I don't allow people to lie to me and expect that I'm going to continue on the same route and treat them the same way. Like the second you lie to me, that's not okay. The buck stops here. If you do this again, there's no more. Our relationship has to change. The dynamic has to change. That's a healthy masculine, right? The masculine is the protector of the feminine. It will verbalize and let the person know this is not okay. It will not happen again. It enforces, right? That's the role of the father. The mother nurtures, the father enforces, right? Okay, this is what needs to happen within you. So if you can feel something, but you can't take the action to make sure you protect yourself because you feel what you feel, and a lot of you are hypocrites. And I'm going to say straight up, because a lot of you will say, oh, I want a protector. I want a healthy masculine. I want somebody who's going to be there for me. I want to feel safe and I want this and I want that. But then you look at your life and you're talking to your girlfriend, guy friends, you're expressing, oh, I don't like what my partner did to me. He or she said this to me. I don't like that. It makes me feel like this. Your friend tells you, hey, you might need to have a conversation on this, and you might need to set some boundaries, and you might need to let them know what's up. And then you're like, well, I would, but if I did, it would create this. You're a liar. You're a hypocrite because you're saying one thing. I want a masculine like this in my life, but you can't even tap into your own masculine like this within you. You can't even protect for yourself. You can't even make yourself feel safe. That's why you're not attracting a healthy masculine. You're going to attract what you are. If you can't lay down the law and bring in your own divine protection from within, How in the hell you think you finna attract that? How the hell do you think that's going to manifest into your life when you don't match that vibration? Guys, this is pretty simple. This is really simple. You just have to know yourself. If you know that you're not yet at that space where you can enforce things that need to be enforced to protect you, don't expect the universe to send you that vibration. Don't expect that kind of person to show up in your life. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening, darling. That's not how this works. Energy does not lie. So when you muster up the strength to be able to protect yourself, I don't like how I feel. This does not feel right. This feeling, no, I can't take it. If you don't know how to honor that feeling, if you don't know how to take the action to protect for yourself, the masculine energy is the protector. It's the provider. It's the enforcer. It's what will make you feel safe. Your feminine feel safe. When you can do that for yourself, this kind of energy will walk into your life. Believe me. Believe me. It's almost like magic. So, as you are building your own spiritual protection, okay, this is where the marriage happens between the masculine and feminine within you. You have certain feelings. There are certain things you're just not allowing anymore. And then you actually are brave enough, and you have enough courage, you have enough strength, and you have enough confidence within yourself. You have enough self-worth. You value yourself. You know that you deserve to be protected and to be loved and to be provided for. So you enforce it. You let people know what you will and will not allow. And then if you do give them like an ultimatum, or you give them a second chance and you say, hey, look, this I don't allow, and then they do it again, you remove yourself. That is the masculine energy protecting your feminine, period. That's all it is, okay? That's all it is. It's not really complicated. And then as you do this, then you move up to the next chakra, which is the third eye, and you see more clearly and you realize, right? The third eye is your real eyes. And that's when you realize that this has happened to me because I wasn't doing it this way. Oh, the reason that used to happen to me is because I wasn't doing it this way. These are the breakthroughs. You start having breakthroughs. You start having new beginnings. You start being able to see more clearly. You start receiving your own messages. The dream world wakes up or opens up for you. You're getting messages through your dreams now. You're now having a higher understanding, higher knowledge. You're more aware now. This is where enlightenment comes from. The seventh chakra. This is your Christ energy, right? So as you are going through this journey, there's going to be a part of you that comes up. It's going to come up like a warrior. It's going to be ready to fight. This is the feminine rising. Once the feminine rises, especially if you know how hard it was to get to that space where you allow yourself to feel, you become vulnerable, you start getting more in touch with your emotions, you allow yourself to cry, and you're no longer ashamed of it. You let people see that, yeah, sometimes I need help. Sometimes I'm not okay. Sometimes it may look like I'm okay. I'm not okay. So people start asking and checking on you. Hey, you good? What's going on? And you actually express to them. You don't just say, oh, I'm fine. When you know damn well you're not fine. You know you're not fine. Some of you need therapy. Some of you, y'all need to find an outlet here. There's a lot of emotions being held within, and you're not talking about it with nobody. You're not talking about it with your partners. You're not talking about it with your friends. I see this more in men than women. Okay. You don't talk about what's going on within you, what you're feeling. You don't have a healthy way to allow yourself to be expressed. So I would recommend some type of therapy. Like if you don't have someone you trust in your life that you can talk to about your feelings, you need to find a way to do that. Otherwise, you're on a downward spiral. So I'm not only talking to men here, women, you guys too. This whole thing has nothing to do with male or female, men versus women. That shit is dumb. I'm not even gonna that conversation. If you find yourself in gender wars, and especially people who talk in generalizations, all men are like this, all women are like this. Even if, people are talking in demographic type of things, all people of this race are like this. But all of that is ignorance. And ignorance is evil. That's what evil is. Evil is those walking around as if they know when they don't know jack. That person is dangerous. Not only are they dangerous to themselves, they're dangerous to anyone who comes in contact with them because of their ignorance. And ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance can get you killed. Okay, and that brings me to my next point, okay? Those who are spiritually protected. So that is those who have gotten to the point where they feel something and they're able to enforce whatever needs to be enforced to match the feeling, right? They can verbalize, they communicate clearly, they let you know what they're feeling, they set the boundaries, and then if a person oversteps their boundaries, they enforce what needs to be enforced. That is the marriage, that is the union, that is I guess you can say the twin flame union. That happens within us. At least that's how I interpret the twin flame energy. I see that twin flame term has been commercialized, and they got people running in circles, going back and forth in these toxic type of relationships. But they have y'all in some type of I don't know. That's a delusion. These people are delusional, right? So once that marriage happens, you become one within you, and that's when your masculine and feminine agrees. And they agree to work together. This is what makes us an androgynous type of species. We are androgynous. And that's how we appear in the spiritual realm. If you're still looking at things as, masculine versus feminine, male versus female, all of that, you're still in like you're a separatist because you are divided. And you are divided within yourself. Okay, every time you think you're arguing with someone else, you're really you're fighting yourself. That's all it is. Yeah, this is a whole circus. Yeah, this stuff, it's like a freak show. At least when you view it from a higher awareness, those on the outside looking at humans and the human condition, they're studying. Why would this person do that? And they're looking at us. We look like freaking rats in some type of experiment, and not realizing that everyone is your mirror. You are fighting yourself. No one is really against you. If you can't look at the reflection and say, okay, there's something there that I need to work on, you are delusional. These are things, y'all need to hear this, because many people, the reason you can't get out of certain energies, certain cycles, is because you don't realize what's actually happening. Your perspective is skewed, it's inverted, it's upside down, it's not accurate. You can't see the bigger picture. You're too focused on details. So once your spiritual protection is intact, no one can F with you. You won't have to do anything anymore once you have enforced something, right? By taking the action that's necessary. For example, if you are in contact with someone, let's just say you're getting to know somebody, right? And you've already gone through the trials and tribulations of setting healthy boundaries, right? Now you're in the new realm and you meet someone new. And when you meet this person, you let them know, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking for in a relationship. And you say XYZ. And the person hears you say XYZ. And the person knows that that's not what they're willing to give you. But they still want to engage. But you have already you laid down the law, because you've already said, this is what I want, this is what I don't allow, and this is what I don't want. So if you don't want this, we don't need to push this any further, right? The other person tells you, hey, look, I want the same thing you want. Let's continue. But they know that's not what they want. That person doesn't understand that they're putting themselves in a very, very compromising position, because you are spiritually protected. You enforce your rules. You enforce whatever it is that you say you're going to do. And that person may just not be spiritually aware, but ignorance does not excuse you, because that person already gave you a disclosure. That's what this is. Okay, every time you are engaging with someone, you are making a contract and you are agreeing. There's an agreement being made. So when a person tells you, these are my rules, and you say, I agree to your rules, but you know deep down you don't agree to those rules, you're about to get spiritually slayed. That person's spiritual team is so strong. I feel for you and whatever descendants you have, and generations and generations. You don't mess with somebody who's spiritually protected. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to lift a finger. They don't have to do anything. As soon as they laid down their intention, and their intention was coming from a pure space, and you know you're not with that, and you know that you're not trying to even go by their rules, and you still want to engage, good luck to you. Good luck to you. And my condolences. Because some of us have a very strong spiritual team. Because whenever a person says, hey, I'm going here, their spiritual team goes ahead of them. So if I have an appointment to go somewhere at 12 o'clock, my spiritual team was there 24 hours before that to clear the room, to get it ready for me and my energy and the boundaries that I've already set. So if you happen to be somebody in that room when I enter, and you think you're about to compromise my protection, you got another thought coming. And people don't look at life like this. A lot of people are just living life, acting like there's not actual things in place, like energy doesn't matter, like, oh, I can do whatever I want and get it. No, you cannot. So I implore you all, when you're engaging with people, listen to what they say. Listen to what people are telling you. Every word, everything that's being verbalized, everything that you can audibly hear is some type of energy. It's some type of contract, some type of agreement. So if I disclose to you XYZ and you choose to ignore that, get ready to deal with my spiritual team. This is not complicated. And it's also not that, it's not even that hard to understand. Now, Another thing, because there's a group that is very spiritually protected because they're able to enforce what needs to be enforced. They're in touch with their feminine and masculine, and all facets of them are working together. And this is when you understand that you are an organism and all parts of you are one, and you choose to use all of the tools being given to you to help with your growth, and you're on that path, right? Now, the other group, because there's another extreme, and that's the group that is not spiritually protected. They think anything goes, and they feel like, I don't care if they told me this. I'm still going to do that. That group, those of you who that you're in a situation you don't like it, and you know that you deserve better, and and you just can't find the willpower because you're still down there in desires, right? That's second chakra. Actually, some of you are still in survival mode. That's root chakra. So that's your base chakra. So you just basically, I need to do this because I got to live. If you're living like that and you have not been able to tap into, okay, I desire this and I want this and I deserve this, right? That's sacral. That's when you move to your second chakra. And then you get to your third chakra, willpower. I have the ability. I'm dedicated enough. I'm strong enough. I, have the confidence to do this. And then you move into your fourth chakra, heart chakra. Because some of y'all are still working from the lower chakras. And you just in survival mode, and you're like, I just need to do this because I got to pay my bills, and I got to do this, and I don't care about all that other stuff. And I got, okay, those of you who are still there, which is a lot, please understand, just because you come in contact with somebody who has already activated their spiritual protection, and this is those who can clearly tell you what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. These are people, they tell you what it is. They tell you, hey, look, this is not what, and you're not there yet, right? You're not able to verbalize and speak up for yourself, but they can. Just because you come into contact with them in this 3D life does not mean that you exist at the same level of protection that they do. So they may be able to do certain things and it works like that. And then when you try the same thing they do, it doesn't work. Yeah, no, because y'all not in the same world. Y'all on two different vibrations. So don't get it twisted. You're not yet at the level where you can set your spiritual protection yet. So you're not going to get the same results. They got a spiritual team knocking down doors before they even get there. They got a spiritual team letting people know, hey, you need to clear the room. You need to go because my people's coming. This shows up like a person getting like an emergency call and like, hey, look, your child is sick. You need to go. That means that person, they can't be in the vicinity of the person coming. So the spirit team will make sure they clear the room before you get there. If you're spiritually protected. Those of you who still walking around la-di-da, oh yeah, I can do whatever. I can mess up with this person. I can cheat on them. I can do this to them, and I can do whatever I want, and ain't nobody could do nothing to me, this and that. Okay, you messing with the right people. That's all it is. You messing with people on your vibration. But don't think that's going to work on everybody, because it's not. So if a person tell you what's up, you need to listen. Y'all need to listen when people talk to y'all. And also, y'all need to be the one setting these boundaries as well. You need to be able to protect yourself. And you need to be able to enforce it as well. Okay? So this message, I think they're trying to bring some awareness so that a lot of you can understand what's happening. Because in this shift that we're in, the energies are different. So there's going to be less mercy. Things you got away with 2, 3, 4 years ago in the past, it ain't gonna work no more. The frequency has risen. The vibration has risen. We are no longer working from those lower frequencies. As a collective, most people are now setting boundaries. You see this in movements that are happening. I believe it started happening with like the feminist movement, and then now there's like 4B movement, and then now there's talks of like decentralizing men, which all this means in the spirit, if I was to change this to like a spiritual conversation, all that means is where the feminine energy within you is no longer putting its masculine energy on a pedestal where it ignores that it's tired but goes to work anyway. That's how that translates, right? Decentralizing men is not literally women fighting men or women saying, I no longer will make a man, the number one importance, even though that's how it shows up in the 3D world. In the spiritual realm, it's literally just saying, I feel like today I can't go to work, so I'm not going. That's all it is. It's you not making work or making money or status and image and titles the most important thing. You are now putting yourself first. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to nurture myself. I'm going to pay attention to my body and what I feel and what I want. That's all it is. I know we complicate it and we kind of put ourselves in this place where we need to rationalize it and make it make sense, because that's a part of the system we live in, where everything needs to be fact and proven and right or wrong. There's truth, but truth and fact are not the same thing. So anyway, before I go off in a tangent, those who are spiritually protected, just know your spirit team, they savage. As soon as you activate that energy within you, where you know what you deserve and you're going after it, your spirit team, they're slaying y'all. And this message is for those of you who are not there yet, and you move in the world as if everybody is where you are. Please don't be so naive. Please don't. Please don't. If a person tells you what's up, please listen. Please listen. And some of you might say, I'm ready to date. I'm ready to go out in the world and meet people, etc. But no one's approaching me. Yeah, that's because you're spiritually protected, baby. Spirit's not going to let just anyone walk up to you. Believe me, it's a blessing. The right one comes to you at the right time. Trust that. Okay? All right. So, those of you who are interested in being spiritually protected, make sure you are in touch with what you feel and you are taking the action that matches what you feel. And then once you do that, watch how only the things you deserve come into your awareness or come into your environment. It will feel like magic, but it's not. It's all energy. That's all this is. And I've said this, in the past. The new language right now is energy. Forget what people say. Sometimes people say something, they don't mean nothing. Sometimes people say certain things, they don't know how to enforce it, or they don't even know how to live it, right? They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. That don't mean nothing. The only thing that means something is when you can talk the talk and walk the walk. So say what you mean and mean what you say. and watch how everything works out for you. Because that's where the marriage is. That's when you become one. And that's when other realms open up to you. And that's when you can see the world differently. It actually becomes more, I'm going to say more beautiful in a way. And it's a more enjoyable life. Or at least life is something you feel at peace. There's a calmness there. Because you'll realize there's certain things you used to worry about that you don't need to worry about. Like so much comes to your awareness and it's just in a different way. And life seems to be more of a breeze because you're flowing with what happens and you're not worried about the wrong things. Okay? All right. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope it reaches whoever it's meant to. Again, if you haven't listened to the spiritual protection message, I'll link it down below and I'll link it at the end of this message as well. Okay? Alrighty. You guys have a good one. And until next time, take care.